This is a Klaxon 10 chemical siren, something that will send shivers down your spine back in World War I. There's just one problem with it though. Besides its appearance, it sounds like this. It's not been in commission for a long time. It's not supposed to sound like that. So we're gonna restore it and make it sound like it's supposed to. I got this thing off of Facebook Marketplace for around $70. I had to drive all the way to Connecticut for it, which is always a fun time. Where do I even start with this thing? Excuse you. Ouch. Wow. So what's making the noise? This grease has probably been here forever. Crazy. I think when this spins, these little teeth hit the back of this thing. If that makes any sense. Like it hits. Whoa. 100-year-old grease right there. That must have been the original paint color. Wow, look at that original paint color. Wow. Try to scrape this seal off, because it looks like it's just like a paper seal. Then I'll see if I can laser cut a new one. Here's where we're at. We have this part sandblasted. This part, what the fuck, where'd it go? Okay. This part sandblasted. I made all these screws nice and shiny. I don't know. The one issue I was struggling with was the gasket for this. And because when I pulled it off, it had like a paper gasket around the edge of it. So I went to a store that sells car parts primarily. This is about the same thickness as the actual seal that came off of it. It's a rubber fiber sheet. I'm gonna try to laser cut this with my X-Tool P2 laser. Problem is, I can't measure this directly because the holes aren't symmetrical. They're not all in line. But what I can do is I'm gonna tape it off and then trace it onto a piece of paper and then put that paper into the laser and then trace it within the laser software. And hopefully that'll give me a very accurate representation of what this is. And then I'll cut that out of this. But before we do that, we are going to put a coat of primer on these guys, like a filler primer, because on the inside of that, there is a lot of like pits from rust, because, you know, this thing wasn't cared for. Move you this way. I'll do a video on this whole camera rig one day, once it's complete. It's getting there, but it's not there. video is sponsored by Xtool, and while I'm creating this sketch, let me tell you about some of the amazing features that the Xtool P2 55-watt CO2 laser has to offer. If you're looking to elevate your projects or start a new venture, this laser cutter is an absolute must-have. The P2 boasts a very powerful 55-watt CO2 laser, which means it can effortlessly cut through a variety of materials, including wood, acrylic, leather, and much more. With its precision cutting and engraving capabilities, you can create stunning designs that will leave your audience in awe. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, the intuitive design makes it easy to operate. Plus, the built-in cameras allow for accurate alignment, ensuring your projects come out perfectly every single time. From custom gifts and home decor to professional prototypes and signage, the possibilities are absolutely endless. And when you invest in an Xtool P2, you're not just getting a machine, you're joining a vibrant community of makers with a wealth of tutorials, tips, and support available. So if you're ready to take your crafting to the next level, check out the Xtool P2 or any of their other amazing products that they have brought to market. And with the huge Black Friday sale coming up, you can take your creations to the next level for up to 60% off of some of their premier machines. Check out the link in the description to invest in your very own Xtool machine today. And don't wait, because you don't want to miss these sales. And now it's time for reassembly. These are the gaskets that we laser cut, and they fit perfectly. So now it's time for reassembly. Here's also a better view of the thumb screw that I polished. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. I really need to get a buffing wheel. Now, if you're unfamiliar, let me explain why this piece of equipment was so important. The Klaxon 10 was invented in 1911 by Miller Reese Hutchison. More about him later. This early warning siren was designed to alert individuals to various dangers, including chemical warfare threats throughout time. Chemical warfare emerged as a devastating tactic during World War I, making a significant shift in military strategy. The introduction of chemical agents such as chlorine, phosgene, and mustard gas caused unprecedented suffering and chaos on the battlefield. These gases not only inflicted physical harm, but also instilled fear among troops, leading to psychological impacts that lasted long after the war ended. Thus, the need to warn soldiers of impending gas attacks became crucial, which led to the development of chemical sirens like this one, allowing them to don their gas masks and take cover in such a short amount of time. The urgent and recognizable noise of the klaxon became synonymous with chemical warfare warnings, saving countless lives by providing critical seconds for response. Miller Reese Hutchison was a prolific inventor, holding over 1,000 patents throughout his career, which reflected a remarkable versatility and innovative spirit. This was also the same type of horn used in early 20th century cars, noted for their famous noise, which he also invented and patented back in 1906 and became a significant innovation after nearly hitting a pedestrian while driving. Alright, enough of the history lesson, let's get back to it. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on there. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do this or not, so if I'm not, then well, I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments. It definitely spins better with the grease, honestly. I've never riveted anything before in my entire life, ever. Wait, we're missing a screw. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button because I've got some really awesome projects coming up in the future. It's such a weird angle. I've got these 1950s Bantam lights that are like right out of frame over there. I got a Kurt machinist vise for like 70 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. 70 bucks seems to be my favorite number for buying things, and it seems to be the favorite number for sellers when selling things. The lady initially wanted 130 for this, and I talked her down to 70. All three of those things were gotten for $70. So if you're negotiating for something on Facebook Marketplace, 70 bucks seems to be a pretty good number. Also, let me know down below if you want me to make a video on how I find the things that I want to restore, because this is something totally anybody could do. As long as you have a few things, anybody could do something like this. It's my cinematography that sets me apart, and I'm confident in that one. I do have a memberships tab on my channel. Joining that will allow you to see exclusive behind the scenes content and an extended cut of this video you're watching right now, because this paint job I did was the third paint job that I did. In terms of I painted this and then sandblasted it and stripped it down and then painted it and stripped it down 3 separate times. This is the third time and it finally came out the exact way I want it. And there's still a few discrepancies within it as well, but it's to a point where I'm happy with it now. And I'm also ready to just move on to another video. So check out that membership option. It really supports me and the channel. I apologize for the delay in videos. However, I'm on a good path right now and I think it's really gonna be entertaining to watch. Let's put this poly on and finish up this video. I'm gonna put some tape on the bottom of the handle so the polyurethane doesn't get on the actual piece. Please, for the love of God, do not peel off the paint or the clear coat. I will be so upset. That's about as much as I'll need for now. While we wait for the polyurethane to dry, I think I'm gonna polish this back nut. Yeah, let's do that while we wait, because the fact that it's so matte kind of irks me. Of course, I'm not gonna refilm the assembly video. Sorry, not sorry. Ta-da! That only took about an hour. It's not like perfect because I had to skip a bunch of the sanding progressions because I don't have any more sandpaper. So now, the moment you may or may not have been waiting for, the true sound of this Klaxon 10 chemical siren. What does it sound like? Well, I've got a very high-end microphone and 32-bit float recorder, a chemical siren, my iPhone to tell me the decibel levels, and most importantly, earplugs. Put those in real quick. Oop, earplugs get kind of gross, dude. These are from a company called Eargasm. Pretty great. I use them when I take photos and videos at concerts. They're high-fidelity earplugs, so I can still hear people talk, but it blocks noises like this, even though no one's talking except me. So, all right, I'm actually gonna switch these sides there, use there, placing this approximately a foot away. Pointed directly at the diaphragm, recording here, recording here, recording here. I'm gonna put this right here, press play, and here we go. I don't know the exact measurement here, but it's pretty loud. So the peak was 135.3 decibels from my iPhone. I don't have an actual decibel measuring device. It's pretty damn loud. If you stood on the end of this thing for an extended period of time, you'll be deaf by the end of it. That's how it's supposed to sound, I think. I'm not like a historian here. If you have any ideas for what we should do for the base of this amazing chemical siren that will really give it justice, and if I pick your comment for a future video, I will shout out your comment in that video, as well as send you a free piece of merch from my website of your choosing. Remember to subscribe, bonus if you got that one too, because I didn't realize that. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side.